Four models of communication. Aristotle's model of communication. Aristotle was a Greek philosopher and writer born in Stagira, northern Greece. Aristotle developed a linear model of communication for oral communication known as Aristotle's model of communication. Aristotle's model of communication, considered as the first model of communication. It was proposed before 300 BC. It is the most widely accepted among all communication. Aristotle's model is mainly focused on speaker and speech. It can be broadly divided into five primary elements: speaker, speech, occasion, audience, and effect. Elements of good communicator. Ethos. It is the credibility of the speaker, the characteristics which makes you credible in front of the audience. If there is no credibility, the audience not believe in you and will not be persuaded by you. Expertise and positions also give credibility to a person. Pathos. It is the emotional bond. If what you say matters to them and they can connect with it, then they will be more interested. Logos. It is the sense of reason. You must present facts to the audience for them to believe in you. People believe in you only if they understand what you are trying to say. These are the criticisms of Aristotle's model. There is no concept of feedback. It is one way from speaker to audience. There is no concept of communication, failure like noise and barriers. This model can only be used in public speaking. Laswell's model of communication. It was developed by communication theorist Harold D. Laswell in 1948. Laswell's model of communication, also known as action model or linear model or one-way model of communication, is regarded as one of the most influential communication models. Components of Laswell's model. Who? The communicator or sender or source of the message. Says what? The content of the message. In which channel? The medium or the media. To whom? The receiver of the message or an audience. With what effect? The feedback of the receiver to the sender. Criticisms of Laswell's model of communication. There are few criticisms around this model. Some of them are: does not include feedback and it ignores the possibility of noise. Very linear and does not consider barriers in the communication process. More focused on the resulting outcome and generally used for media persuasion. Shannon-Weaver's model of communication. Shannon-Weaver model of communication was created in 1948 when Claudia Elwood Shannon wrote an article, A Mathematical Theory of Communication, in Bell System Technical Journal with Warren Weaver. Shannon was an American mathematician, whereas Weaver was a scientist. The mathematical theory later came to be known as Shannon-Weaver model of communication, or mother of all models. This model is especially designed to develop the effective communication between sender and receiver. Also, they find factors which affecting the communication process called noise. At first, the model was developed to improve the technical communication. Later, it's widely applied in the field of communication. Concepts in Shannon-Weaver model. Sender, or the information source. Sender is the person who makes the message, chooses the channel, and sends the message. Encoder, or the transmitter. Encoder is the sender who uses machine which converts message into signals or binary data. It might also directly refer to the machine. Channel. Channel is the medium used to send message. Decoder or the receiver. Decoder is the machine used to convert signals or binary data into message, or the receiver who translate the message from signals. Receiver or the destination. Receiver is the person who gets the message or the place where the message must reach. The receiver provides feedback according to the message. Noise. Noise is the physical disturbance like environment, people, etc., which does not let the message get to the receiver as what is sent. These are the criticisms of Shannon-Weaver model. It can be applied more for interpersonal communication than group communication and mass communication. Receiver plays the passive part in the communication process, as sender plays the primary role that sends message. Feedback is taken as less important in comparison to the message sent by the sender. The model is taken by some critics as a misleading misrepresentation of the nature of human communication, as human communication is not mathematical in nature. Berlow's model of communication. In 1960, David Berlow postulated Berlow's sender, message, channel, receiver, or SMCR model of communication. From Shannon-Weaver's model of communication, in 1949, he described factors affecting the individual components in the communication, making the communication more efficient. Berlow's model of communication focuses on the encoding and decoding, which happens before sender sends the message and before receiver receives the message respectively. Berlow's model has mainly four components to describe the communication process. They are sender, message, channel, and receiver. Each of the components is affected by many factors. Advantages of Berlow's model of communication. There are few advantages around this model. Some of them are: concepts of noise helps in making the communication effect by removing the noise or problem causing noise. This model takes communication as a two-way process. It makes the model applicable in general communication. Criticisms of Berlow's model. There are few criticisms around this model. Some of them are: there is no concept of feedback, so the effect is not considered. There is no concept of noise or any kind of barriers in communication process. It is a linear model of communication. There is no two-way communication. Both of the people must be similar according to all factors mentioned above.